Hello. The known universe consists of three aspects. These are the physical world, the world of energy, and the informational world. And a human being is also a system and a part of the universe, and it also consists of these three aspects. We have a physical body, we have energy, and we have our mental part, so to speak. And only with the presence of all three aspects can a person exist. If one of these aspects disappears, the person falls apart, and there will be no person. All these three aspects are interdependent and mutually influence each other. As soon as one aspect starts to develop, the other two gradually follow, and the entire system improves. But this will happen to some extent on autopilot. Still, it is necessary to pay separate attention to all aspects. If even one of the aspects begins to degrade, the entire system will degrade, and the remaining two aspects will also start to degrade. Here, there is no need to maintain anything. It will roll downhill on its own. But it cannot be said that these three aspects are always equivalent. Depending on the situation and the daily circumstances of each individual or all of humanity during historical epochs, one aspect or another has been at the forefront. For modern humans, the mental part is primarily at the forefront. It drives development. And therefore, if we want to develop ourselves as a whole system, we should first focus on the mental part. What does our mental part consist of? What is it? At the core are the basic instincts, the things that connect us with animals. I am safe. I have energy. I am rested and well fed. And I can continue my species, my lineage, self-preservation, energy, and the natural drive, and the instinct of reproduction, such as the next level, the one that already distinguishes us from animals, is something that only humans have, as we believe. And that is the mind. The mind is a tool, a wonderful tool for solving problems. And with the help of the mind, we react to situations that arise in our surroundings. There is a task, and in order to solve it, we carefully apply the mind and find an effective solution. There is some situation, the mind reacts, and we, let's say, avoid further dangers. Above the mind, there is a more complex layer of our mental part that does not just react, but also reflects. This is the intellect. The intellect is responsible for reflection, for conceptual thinking, for creativity, for inventiveness, for fundamental and serious matters. The next level of our mental part is indeed the spirit. This is truly the sensory level. The spirit is best manifested through will. A strong spirit can manifest a strong will. Will is applied and directed. The intellect, if necessary, builds a concept, and the mind finds a solution. Will governs both the intellect and the mind. The intellect controls the mind. The mind restrains basic instincts. And at the very top, what is indeed called the soul in religions or philosophical teachings is actually there. In fact, this is indeed the most extremely subtle and brightest, high frequency, dense, and least prone to dissipation, energetic informational structure, what is called the soul. I will say again, those who believe in reincarnation think that all the components of our system, the human being, are subject to dispersal, dissipation, and death. But this part remains whole, and it doesn't really disperse for the most part, in fact, in general, and therefore it can be said that it is immortal, and it can then find itself in another structure, in another system, be born in a new body, appear in a new body, and in new energies, what is called reincarnation. Why is it needed? So that in the process of each life, in each rebirth, there is development, change, and improvement, and ultimately, one could say, an increase in vibrations, an increase in the radiance of this part. How do changes and improvements occur? Through gaining experience, sensory life experience, Throughout life, various events, lessons, challenges, losses occur. This experience is accumulated. Sometimes it elevates, sometimes it lowers. It is very individual. But after many, many times, a level is reached where it is no longer necessary to be reborn, no longer necessary to gain this experience. And the frequency of vibrations and luminescence has already reached a state where one can leave this environment called samsara and go beyond to nirvana, home, closer to the divine. Thus, the meaning of life is development. The purpose of each life is the development of the entire system. And the purpose of many lives is spiritual development. Unfortunately, you cannot develop only the mental part because we are a system. And if there is disorder in the system, for example, a sick body or very low energy, it is of low quality, then it will not be possible to develop. Mentally, basically create conditions that would allow for this development to successfully occur. You need to put your body in order, you need to put your energies in order, and you need to put your mind in order, stop worrying, living in stress, and so on. And this is where we will start